Let's go with this one. This is an interesting one. 1 versus ton. So this is actually 1 versus a ton. And think about this in terms of passwords. If you grew up in the internet era, how many passwords do you have right now in your life? I have a password keeper on my phone, and it just keeps growing and growing and growing. And you have different emails and you have different passwords associated with those. You have different usernames. It's a shit show. It's a complete shit show. And a lot of them are very unsecure as well. Your last name with a couple numbers, not good. So this is in terms of passwords. That's the old internet. You have a ton of passwords, a ton of usernames, a ton of email addresses, and you have to piece them together every time you want to log into a new website. With Bitcoin, with Nostr, with the new internet, you have one. You have one password, one private key essentially. Your private key and your public key pair, that's what you use to access every single app within Nostr. So you could find an application on Nostr, let's call it Primal, and you get set up on there. You have a private key, a public key. That's how you log into it. And then you get tired of Primal, or they do something that you don't like. So instead of having to rebuild your entire network on there and start fresh, you actually just take your private key and your public key and you plug that into a different Nostr client, which could be Domus. And this is just kind of like the social media aspect of it, but this is going to have an impact on every part of the internet. Every website you go to, you're going to log in with your Nostr key. In this new world anyways, it's going to take a while to get here. It's not like one day we're just going to flip a switch and all of a sudden we're in the new internet. This is going to take a while, but that's what it will look like at the end of this. You have your private key, and that's what gives you access to every single website on there. And if you think about that, how good that's going to be, not only just for your mental clarity, but you have to take the stuff seriously, because if you consider that, everything is going to be reputation based. Because every time you log into a website, it's going to be you. It's not going to be a different email, different username, different password. It's going to be you. And the sooner you can build up that reputation and the sooner you can start interacting with people and just creating good karma out there, essentially, the better off you'll be. And so it'll essentially be like an Uber. It'll be like an Airbnb. It'll be like an eBay for everything, because you only have one key. So your entire reputation is going to have an impact on every single interaction you do online. So it's not going to be like Uber where you can set up an account, you can be a piece of shit and call the Uber driver names and then just go off and live your life as normal and set up a different account next time. Or Airbnb or eBay. And if you're good on eBay but bad on Airbnb, it's going to have, you can't do that anymore. Your reputation, your one private key is going to be your unlock to the entire internet. And the better your reputation is, the more people are going to want to interact and transact with you. So keep in mind here that Bitcoin is a peer-to-peer electronic cash, which means that between that peer and the other peer, there's no middleman. There's no trust factor there. You have to have the trust yourself. There's not going to be any companies in between there that we're putting our trust in to make sure that transaction goes through. It's just going to be peer-to-peer. So the better off your reputation is going to be in this new internet, the much better off you're going to be. Does that make sense? I hope so. So that's pretty incredible. Like I said, if I look through my passwords and my usernames and my everything to log into websites, it's not good. It's not fun. Fees versus free. This is a big one. This is a very big one.